All right, you want to know what America's opinion on Turkey is? Here, let's take a look.
Power. Turkey's longtime leader is now facing a runoff election.
I got to pee. I'll be back in a second.
Huge implications for the NATO alliance and the war in Ukraine.
Huge.
Warning, it looks
guys,
like
huge implications. I mean, oh my God. It's like, bro, Erdogan is like, yeah, Erdogan gets a lot of money from Russia, okay? Which is why he takes this like weird wishy-washy middle of the ground stance on Russia. But Erdogan is also a dog of NATO, okay? So what do you mean? He's the #1 fucking purveyor of Bayraktars. What the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't matter. He's always going to do the NATO bidding. He's just trying to get his fucking money up. He's trying to get his fucking money up and not his fucking funny up. He always has played both sides, literally. Recep Tayyip Erdogan's foreign policy strategy is actually where I personally think he is smart, okay? I have said this before. Turks will get mad at me for saying this. But that's the reason why he captivates so many fucking people in the diaspora, okay? But, like, he always plays both sides, and he always comes out on top. The economy domestically is shit, but his foreign policy comes across to the broader Islamic world as, like, this brave champion that is anti-imperialist. Meanwhile, he's doing everything. He's doing everything that they want. Remember the 1 minute thing that happened many, many years ago to all the Turks in the chat right now when Recep Tayyip Erdogan... what was it, G20 or something, got up and like spoke out against fucking Israel? What did he do? They still fucking sold weapons parts to Israel to use in Gaza. They kept doing that. Okay? Or Davos, yeah, at Davos. Okay? So it doesn't fucking matter. He will the way he presents himself and the way he conducts himself is very different than the way that they continue wheeling and dealing. Okay? Behind closed doors. Turkey kept training Israeli pilots, you know what I mean, in that process where even after Mavi Marmara, where the IDF, the occupying force, actually fucking killed a ship full of people that were trying to bring in supplies for survival, okay, like medical aid and food into Gaza. They fucking drop shipped into it with an attack helicopter and butchered all of those people. That was a big point of contention. Okay? Erdogan still very much was in support of Israel. Okay? Even after that, in private. It doesn't matter. What he says in the public eye is very different than how he operates. Same with NATO. Same with his allegiance with Russia. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's all. That's how this works. It's just, he's just, he presents himself a certain way, but it doesn't change anything about the way he conducts himself. Like, Turkey is still selling Bayraktar 2.0. It's a big point of pride for Turks in general. So, like, what's up with that? So, is that going to stop? No. So, shut the fuck up.
Like Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has failed to secure the 50% vote threshold to avoid a runoff. Turkey, obviously a key NATO ally, and has the second largest military in the alliance. But Erdogan has maintained close ties with Russia at the same time throughout its brutal invasion of Ukraine. And he continues to block Sweden from joining NATO, which would be a huge blow to Vladimir Putin. No one better to talk to about all of this and the broad implications than CNN chief international anchor Christiana Amanpour. Good morning.
Hi.
2 years and a very complex relationship between Erdogan and Turkey and NATO and the United States, because they've proved critical in some ways, the grain deal, et cetera, but also they've proved to be very difficult.
They're difficult. Turkey is a difficult ally because, as you pointed out, it's so important. I mean, NATO has so many countries, but Turkey is the second biggest military, and right, it's on the ground, so it's easily deployable. But over the years, Turkey has, particularly under Erdogan, starting about 20 years ago, when he actually opened up and democratized Turkey, which was very heavily militarized. Yeah. And then, with various challenges like the Gezi Park protests in the 2013, then the attempted coup against him a few years later, he cracked down and he started to become a lot more authoritarian. And that is what's made him incredibly unpredictable when it comes to being a rock-solid Western ally. And of course, before, Turkey used to be kind of the de facto bridge between East and West.
Sure.
But under Erdogan, they have dropped their
Abi Süleyman Soylu isimli bir bakanımız var. Biden için diyor ki şu an her şeyiyle Erdoğan'ı göndermeye çalışıyor ve Erdoğan'a çekemiyor Batı diyor. Sen ABD basını takip ediyorsun, orada yaşıyorsun. Belki ABD'de en etkili Türksün. ABD'de Türkiye'ye bakınca ne görüyorsun? Bir tane anlatır mısın bu eşeklerin anlaması için? Okay. So he's saying there's a guy named Süleyman Soylu, a minister. And he's saying that Biden hates Erdogan and he wants Erdogan gone. And Biden is terrified of Erdogan. And the West can't handle Erdogan. And Haskoloğlu is saying, you follow the American press, you live there, you might be one of the most influential Turks in the United States of America. From the perspective of the United States, when you look at Turkey, can you explain if this is true or not? The answer is no, for the same things that I just mentioned. Turkey is always going to be a wild card in the NATO alliance, but Turkey is very much an effective part of NATO. Okay? That's it. So, no, I don't think that like the United States of America is that terrified of the Erdogan regime because Erdogan does not rock the boat when in places where it actually matters. Okay? If he feels like America is fucking him over with defense contracts that he has due to NATO, and then turn around and get like the S-2000 missile systems from Russia, and turn around to Russia and get like missile systems from them, he'll do that. But ultimately, wherever it matters, where it actually matters, when it comes down to it, when push comes to shove, and they need like fucking arms or provisions, or the S4, is it S4000 400? Sorry, I fucked it up. S2000 is the Honda, the car. S2000. It's the Honda sports car, which is a very sick car, but that's not what we're talking about here, okay? I don't know why I have this in my mind right now. VTech, I know. That's not... S2000'le alaka. Yanlış söyledim amına koyayım. Rus füzelerini, defans sistemini söylerken S2000 dedim abi amına koyayım. Aklımda Honda var. Great car, by the way. Unrelated to everything.
Tayyip Erdoğan. Amerika'dan aldığın talimatla mı yapacaksın? Biden'dan aldığın talimatla mı yapacaksın? Biden Erdoğan'ı düşürmemiz lazım diye talimatı verdi. Bunu ben biliyorum. Bunu benim bütün halkım biliyor.
Ya siktir lan. Ya bırak Allah aşkına. Yapmayın abi, böyle bir şey yok yani. Amerika'nın sikinde bile değil. Erdoğan yine bayraktarları sallıyor Ukrayna'ya. Sikinde bile değil Amerika'nın, o yüzden yani. Yapmayın etmeyin abi. There is a video. Like, I'm sure America would prefer Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu for stability. Okay? That much is true. But like, it don't matter. It's not that big of a point of contention that Erdogan continues to run the country from the perspective of the American security apparatus. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck.
Şimdi yarın sandıklar demek ki Biden'a da bir cevap verecek. Onun için durmak yok. Yarına kadar bu gece Türkiye yüzyılını yine Ümraniye ile birlikte inşa edeceğiz.
He said the voting results are going to be answering Biden as well. I mean, this is bu masadayız biz lafı. Turks want to be prominent in the national sphere of influence really bad, and this makes them feel like they have a say or something. You know what I mean? So that's why he's like hyping that narrative. It's for fifis. Biden ABD'deki seçim öncesi New York Times editörlerine verdiği cevabı çevirip kullanıyor şu video.
And so what I think we should be doing is taking a very different approach to him now, making it clear.
Oh, he's talking about Erdogan.
That we support opposition leadership, making it clear that we are in a position where we have a way in which was working for a while to integrate the Kurdish population who wanted to participate in the process in their parliament, et cetera, because we have to speak out about what we in fact think are wrong. He has to pay a price.
Bullshit posturing, okay? It don't matter. Okay. Is this from a TV show? No, this is the New York Times like editorial team that interviewed every single presidential candidate during the primaries on the Democratic side, and demanded positions out of them. It's from back in 2020. Yeah, I love looking at this and going, wow, yeah, it's real. Joe Biden definitely fucking hates Turkey or hates Recep Tayyip Erdogan because I don't know. What else did Joe Biden promise during the fucking campaign? Raising the minimum wage, for example. Abolishing all student loan debts. You know, none of those things. He didn't do any of those things. So what do you mean? Presidents fucking, when they're running for presidency, they say shit that they don't actually fucking mean. It's politics. Kürtler umurunda değil Biden'a, salak mısınız? Yeah, you think Biden gives a fuck about Kurdish people? What are you, fucking insane, dude? He'll say shit.
Any comment on the Turkish elections? It looks like there might be a dispute over President Erdogan's.
Oh, is that right? I didn't get any
The
results.
opposition party are claiming they are leading, and state media is.
Exactly. There you go. That's the level of seriousness that America is taking the elections. Oh man, he's like, what? What? I didn't hear about it, Jack. I don't know. What's Turkey? Is it Thanksgiving time?
Erdogan is leading.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? No, look, I just hope it goes, whoever wins, wins. I mean, there's enough problems in that part.
Bro. They're farting at the Turks, dude. There you go. He doesn't give a fuck, dude. What do you mean? He'll come out and he'll say some shit like, oh, Erdogan is bad, blah, blah, blah. And then the Turks will make a bigger deal out of it. But like, that's the level of attention. It's not, what is it? Like not even making it to a security briefing that morning? That's crazy. What's going on, Jack? What's up? Erdogan. I hear his name a lot. Who is this guy? Say he's not too fond of me, Jack. Look alive. İki tarafın da NATO ile ilgili bir sıkıntısı olmadığı için Amerika'nın sikine bile değil. Aynen öyle. Both parties will literally do whatever the fuck America wants them to do. Okay? Erdogan does it, and so will fucking Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, especially as it pertains to NATO. There is no care or consideration here because, you know, as far as NATO goes, like, they're gonna do whatever the fuck America wants. That's it.
Price. He has to pay a price for whether or not we're going to continue to sell certain weapons to him. In fact, if he has the air defense system that they're flying F-15 through to see how they can try to figure out how to do it. So I'm very concerned about it. I'm very concerned about it. But I'm still of the view.
He's saying these things because he has to say these things to show that he knows what the fuck he's talking about as a person doing like foreign policy. This conversation is only important as far as like showing Joe Biden's like knowledge and his bona fides in foreign policy. That's it. That's the only thing. And he's just repeating lines that someone told him that he rehearsed, that someone told him to fucking say. It doesn't actually mean anything. Okay? If you think that like the American federal government, the American State Department gives a single fuck about Kurdish people, for example, beyond like using them as a weapon in the Middle East whenever they want to like destabilize areas or whenever they want to fucking like go and fight against other militia groups that they created, like ISIS. That's it. That's the only. They just dangle like an independent nation state of Kurdistan in front of the Kurdish people and just arm them and train them. And then fucking send them off and use their desperation for an understandable desire to build a nation state for themselves against them. They just like fuck and then forget about them immediately and allow Turkey, more importantly, to roll over them every fucking time. Okay? And that's how it's going to work every fucking time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he says. So understand that if you think that like America gives a shit about Kurds, you're wrong. They don't give a shit.
That if we were to engage more directly, like I was doing with them, that we can support those elements of the Turkish leadership that still exist and get more from them and embolden them to be able to take on and defeat Erdogan, not by a coup, but by the electoral process. He got
not by a coup like last time, Jack.
Blown out. He got blown out in Istanbul. He got blown out, his party. And so what did we do now? We just sit there and you yielded. The last thing I would have done is yielded to him with regard to the Kurds. The absolute last thing. And I had a couple of those meetings with them about the Kurds, and they did not clamp down at the time. And anyway, so we have to make it clear that if they're looking to, because at the end of the day, Turkey doesn't want to have to rely on Russia. They've had a bite out of that apple a long time ago. But they got to understand that we're not going to continue to play with them the way we have. So I am very concerned. I'm very concerned about our airfields and access to them as well. And I think it takes an awful lot of work for us to be able to get together with our allies in the region and deal with how we isolate his actions in the region, particularly in the Eastern Mediterranean relating to oil and a whole range of other things which take too long to go into. But the answer is, yes, I'm worried.
Do you think Turkey trying to get Russia and Ukraine to negotiate is on orders of the U.S. or by their own volition? No, they're just doing the... Turkey's trying to do a lighter version of what China's doing, but Turkey doesn't have any kind of fucking... Turkey has a limited influence. It's in the sphere of influence, but it has like very limited autonomy in comparison to a place like China, a country like China. Anyway, let's get back to America.
To get into the EU because there's a lot of conditions that they are unwilling to meet. Yeah. So,
what does it say to you that this is going to a runoff, that he couldn't get 50% of the vote, and the referendum of him that is?
Well, it is a referendum. He actually went into this for the first time lagging in the votes. Now, what you've seen is the vote count has shown that he actually took more of the vote in the first round than his challenger, and the challenger is, part of a coalition. They banded together to see if they could, in fact, unseat him. Not in this way, no. And now, though, it looks the Election Commission has said that his votes are more. He's got 49+%. But yeah, he has not made it across the finish line yet. To be fair, the Turkish system has never had a runoff. It has had only since 2018. So he won handily the first time. So you can't say it's the first time in 20 years that he's faced a...
What's happening in the chat? Do you want me to fucking start banning? Do you want me to destroy the Discord? Is that what you want? Is that what's going on? You guys are just like... Is that what it is? This has got to be my own Discord, right? Like, a lot of you fucking dumb LARPing motherfuckers in the Discord server are just like going crazy over it. Let's go. Let's fucking spam. Let's spam in the chat, dude. Is that what you want? Y'all are so fucking annoying, dude. Every single dumb motherfucker living in Iowa just like, oh, base, dude. My understanding of foreign policy or my understanding of what's going on in Turkey is revolves around like incredible, black and white understandings. Where is this coming from? Literally wasn't us, bro. Wallahi. It's got to be like a splinter Discord then, right? It's maybe not like the actual Discord, but a splinter Discord then. A based, dude. Fucking based.
The runoff, but it's the first time since they've had a runoff that he's faced a
Iowalı
runoff.
Orta Doğu uzmanları aynen amına koyayım yani. Oh.
Hasn't won outright.
I think many in the West, certainly for the first time, are learning the name Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu.
Good, well done.
Oh my God. Nobody can say this motherfucker's name too. Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. It means the son of a swordsman. Okay, Kılıçdar is like, does Kılıçdar, I guess, is a swordsman, kind of. Like, I don't even know what Kılıçdar would be. It's hard to say. I get it. You know, I was trying to watch, the swordsman's son. I was trying to watch Sam Cedar talk about Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, and like he was just having such a hard time saying his last name. It's so funny.
I do.
We've
Okay.
been practicing it all morning.
Yeah.
All morning. But really what I find is so interesting is his statement in the last few hours was any struggle necessary. Our people should be confident that we will definitely win. We'll see. But what he has put forward is such a contrast to Erdogan, right? He's talked about the price of onions. He filmed this video in his modest kitchen. He's trying to say, I am so different from your current president.
And not only that, he's touching on the thing that's motivated most voters, and that is the cost of living crisis.
Yes.
The economic crisis is very, very severe. If you look at any reports that are coming out of there, lots of interviews by ordinary people who have to make a living and who have to eat. Many people who've been voting AKP, which is Erdogan's party, for years, and he has a very strong base, are saying, look, you know, we are doing worse off than our families did all these years ago. We who used to eat chicken or meat, you know, once a week are now maybe doing it, you know, once a month. So that on top of the earthquake, which killed some 50,000 people and which
50,000 is the official number. The speculation is more than 100,000. And I believe that. I don't think it's 50,000 for the record.
highlighted the corruption that they have blamed, you know, to the Turkish government for allowing builders and others to pay people under the table and have shoddy construction. But he's a very good and canny politician, this Erdogan. And he knows, and he has a very fervent base. He is a politician. He used to be mayor of Istanbul. He knows what it means to be a politician. The other gentleman was an economist. He knows exactly what has to be done to get the economy back on track, which is what people need. But some people have said so far anyway, his campaign style has not matched that of Erdogan. We'll see.
And the reason the implications for this are so profound, of course, go to Ukraine at the heart of that.
At the moment, yeah.
The other thing that we saw over the weekend, this development that was striking to me, is that the Prigozhin, who is the mercenary chief of the Wagner group that's been helping Russia fight in Ukraine, that back in January, he reportedly offered to Ukrainian intelligence services the positions of Russian troops. Basically, they would have the intent of firing
he
upon them.
moved on already.
Offered them those positions if Ukraine withdrew their soldiers from that key city of Bakhmut, where we've seen such intense fighting. What was your reaction when you saw that?
Well, look,
report?
I mean, it is absolutely
Yes.
really.
Yes. It's absolutely imperative. Yes. They moved on. They moved on from Erdogan to Wagner, I think, which is unrelated to the other shit. Anyway. Yeah, I know. Marmaray'da AKP yüzünden intihar eden 20 yaşında genç kardeşimizin mektubu. Gönderip durma şunu ya. Konuştum. Yes, people are already committing suicide with suicide notes and stuff. Okay, I don't want to get into it any further. I already covered it.